Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the latest Crafty Simulations video. Now in the last few videos you have literally absolutely loved my A2A content involving the two A2A aircraft here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. However, the latest A2A aircraft, the Aerostar 600, has not featured too often really, but that's because it keeps getting bloody updated. And basically when I'm ready to do a video, it's updated, things have changed, hence why the video is not quite good. So I have got the latest update for the Aerostar 600 here. It is version 0.9.10 of the early access, and it is called a Little Bits Update, I do believe. And we've had quite a few tweaks. We've had new repaints added. That's right, we now don't have just one Aerostar 600. We have, I believe, five or six. There are repaints from the community and they're very good, and I decided to take this one out for a little flight. Now normally I do little area flights, you know, local Lincolnshire, that sort of thing. Well, I've decided to not only involve myself with the latest version of the Aerostar 600, but we're also going to visit a brand spanking new airfield in the form of Burning Blue Designs Welshpool, which is in Wales. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever Crafty Simulations international flight. So, welcome aboard the Aerostar 600. Like I say, it's not version 1 yet, it's not far off. Also, we have been told by A2A, but at the moment it is still in its early access form. This is available through A2A, I believe. I'm just going to say it's through A2A. I'm not sure whether other providers or the marketplace or anything like that have it yet, but basically you can pay full price for this aircraft and you will join essentially the early access program for this aircraft. And you will have some brilliant updates because A2A are absolutely awesome, fantastic, marvellous at releasing lots and lots of updates for this aircraft. And already it's turning out to be one heck of a twin-engine aircraft. So, like I said in the intro, I do normally create short field flights out of Humberside, back into Humberside, out of Humberside into another Lincolnshire-based airfield. I've decided to actually bring in a new piece of scenery because Burning Blue Designs, you might have heard of them, create some fantastic pieces of scenery. And what I've decided to do is to take the Aerostar 600 from here at Humberside and go down to their new latest piece of scenery, which is Welshpool. I believe I used to have a freeware version of the scenery, nothing to do with Burning Blue Designs, but they have come out with it themselves and it looks fantastic. I did a rehearsal flight yesterday, I think it was, and it actually went really well, amazingly, in this very aircraft. So we started to log a few hours in this aircraft, and yeah, let's get this thing up and going because I'm itching to get flying in this aircraft because it's absolutely fantastic. It's awesome. Right, so let's. We're not going to have Trackir on just yet. It is a tricky little start to get going sometimes. Looks like I left my fans on. This is one of those. I've left a fan on somewhere else, I know I have. Not that. There we go. This is one of those persistent cockpits, so it state saves. So even though I did turn off the aircraft a certain way, I did forget that I was running the fans, which is quite unique due to the fact I'm actually sat in a computer room, not the aircraft. So anyway, so we've got the batteries on, we've got the beacon lights on to warn people that we are a live aircraft. We'll be starting the right engine first. So this being A2A, it's a unique way to do it. So we'll have the first tanks on crossfeed, both tanks on crossfeed. We'll have the fuel boost ready to go on the right tank. So we are ready to start. So we are clear on the left side, clear in front, clear on the right side. So there's the fuel pump on. Right engine, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So we'll do that. And let's hope this starts. Come on. Come on. No, we're not going to start. Right, okay, so that's on that. So this is an A2A wonderful trait. Never remember exactly how to fuel pump off. I really should pay attention to the actual fitting list. Come on. Hey, we got a starter. Bring it down to 1,000. Fuel pump is set off. Tank still set to cross feed. Mixture set correctly. We'll have the right alternator on. Avionics can now start coming on. We have power. Right, let's have another fun joy with the second engine. So, set. Fuel pump on. Mags through. And we have a good start. Left is on, fuel pump's coming off. And we have a good start. Right, flat lever will back down to a middle. Fuel pumps can come off. Nav lights can come on, cabin lights can come on. We'll have that on. That reminds me, actually, I do need to have a stick. So I won't be flying too far. Clear. Let's see if the map came through, the route came through. We've already programmed this up. So it is a direct routing. It's got 116 miles. That's set for... Where is it? Nearest airports, just in case we need to go into somewhere. 7,000, that'll do. Get Trackir now turned on. Front down 10, up to middle. Set the V-lock, I want to set the GPS. Master avionics are on, autopilot can come off for the time being. I don't know why that was on. Auto trim. We'll have that off for the time being while we take off. Right, you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go find us a runway. Brakes checked. Just remember landing lights. I'll have them on. We don't have taxi lights on this aircraft, weirdly. We do have landing lights. Brakes are very keen on this aircraft, I would say. Right, so we'll position ourselves here, parking brakes set. Right, that. We'll have the fuel pumps coming on. Tank straight through to crossfeed. Crossfeed is illuminated, that's correct. We're not going to have the aircon on. Mixture is set full. Prop pitch is set full. De-icing gear is not required. All lights are on. So, anybody want to go see the new piece of scenery at Burning Blue Designs? I've seen it. It's been cracking. I know what I am going to have to do though. I am going to scoot my seat up. I'll move my rudder pedals and they're just a little bit out of reach. Right, brakes off, let's go. Set. Approach. Right, so flaps are set. Power levers are set. Lights are set. Heading bug straight forward. Looks like we're going to a right-hand turn to start our direct routing over towards Welshpool. So it's quite a simple departure out of here. So everything is set. Parking brakes coming off. Wheel brakes are sitting up. Alright, so runner up. And let's roll. Airspeeds arrive, then 60, 70, 80, rotating. All the brake gears coming up, lights are out, gears up, there's 120, heading for 140. Positive rate flaps are coming up. Flaps are up and neutralised. Almost remember to stop pressing different buttons. Different sims, different buttons. Auto trim is coming on. Start our swing over towards our chosen course. So we're flying at around 3,000 to 4,000 feet today's flight in this rocket ship of a twin-engine aircraft. It's 2,000 feet already. Autopilot is holding, and we're going to heading hold. Right, so we can have our landing lights are now coming off. We're going to maintain this attitude until we get up to about 4,000. Got brilliant weather today, nice and clear, VFR conditions. So I do hope that you are enjoying this A2A content I've been doing. Well, I know you are. I mean, the last video featuring this aircraft, no, it was the Comanche, wasn't it? The Comanche 250. Over 2,000 views. Simply astonishing for me, personally. I want to thank every one of you for watching that video. It was a joy to create. Coming up on 4,000, switching over to altitude. That should level us out. Allows me to start to lean everything down. Right, so we shall tell our fuel pumps are off. Tanks are set to crossfeed on both. Good fuel flow, RPM's good, manifold pressure's good. Right, so I might as well say this while I'm at it, because, well, I'm here now. I am going to cut this video up into parts. Obviously you're not going to have to sit here and watch the entire flight, which is going to be, we've got 107 miles to go before we get to Welshpool. But I will take this time now to speak a little bit about what I put up on my channel post-wise regarding another simulator being added to this channel. Now, yes, I know this channel is 99% aircraft and helicopters, and I want to keep that. I don't want to take away any content revolving around aircraft and aviation, whether it be 2020 or 2024. But I did want to just ask you if Euro Truck Simulator 2 is a simulator that you would like to see featured on this channel. It is a simulator. I have got a lot of hours on that simulator, not really since 2020 kicked in as a sim, but I'm willing to bring it back. Obviously, I think last time I looked at it, there was more views wanting it than there was against it. So what I'm thinking, and I should really go steady with that statement, but I'm thinking I will create one video in Euro Truck Sim, and I'll put it on the channel, and I'll see what the general consensus is regarding that video. I don't know when it's going to come up, but if I get a chance to get it done, I will get it put up on the channel. I will not take away any Microsoft Flight Simulator content, so don't fear that that's going away in replacement of the truck sim. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm willing to put it out there. I'm willing to grow the channel in different areas. So that's really all I've got to say about that. If you haven't had a chance to vote, the vote is still up. If you go and look on my posts on the YouTube channel, you'll see it as the latest one, I think it is. Get your chance to, if you don't want to vote, but you've got any words of wisdom about it, please put them below, and I will gather up my thoughts from the general consensus of you guys and girls in the community. So, and now that's all been said, I'm going to sit back and relax and drink a coffee, and I shall bring you back when we're a little bit closer to Welshpool. So I just thought I'd bring you back for a little chat about A2A and their Aerostar 600. Now, I know it's been featured before on quite a few channels, but it is rapidly becoming one of the best, in my view, twin-engine aircraft here in the sim. And it's hard for me to say this because, as we all know, one of my most favourite aircraft in the entire sim, whether it's be 2020 or 2024, is the Cowes DA42. So am I going to retire the DA42 to fly this beautiful Aerostar 600? And the answer is I don't know yet, if I'm perfectly honest. It's great to have the pair of them. Obviously at the moment this is not the finished product. This is still a early access aircraft. I think that's what A2A call it. Just one moment, I've got it on my phone here. So yes, it is called the early access. Latest version is 0.9.10, and it's been quite a small update in the fact of bits and pieces that were added to the aircraft. We do have more repaints. Originally we just had the original one and only repaint of the Aerostar 600 that was flown by the unowned by the owner of A2A. Now I've got to say, if you don't know who A2A is and you're in flight simulation, I don't quite know how that would work, but A2A is like the words that mean, the letters that mean brilliance, awesomeness, layers. And this is one of the things I love about flight simulator aircraft. It's not just the what I can see, it's the layers behind the aircraft. And this, being an A2A, I'll turn Trackir off, but being an A2A aircraft, it is just beautiful in its current state. Absolutely beautiful. It's worn in the right places. The dials all look correct, the screens look correct. The glass or plastic on the end of the dials here looks brilliant. The reflections of it are absolutely fantastic. At the moment the fuses do not work, but trust me, it's A2A, those will work before the general release happens. Obviously we're flying with a GTN 750 and 650 unit. You can swap that out with this doohickey down here, the usual tablet, which is not that one. I want that, I want that. So that's the latest version we're running. And here we have the usual arrangement, of options for various things here on this aircraft. You know A2A, you know this tablet. Obviously nowadays you can add other things in here. We obviously got our flight planner, which is how we did our route, and yeah, it's fantastic. I love these tablets, and now that they involve a lot more things about them. What I don't like is the fact that each aircraft that has its own bespoke tablet or options has its own tab. So here you have the Coronado CT210N, which obviously has its own tablet. Now you can imagine it's going to fill up in 3 rows. This is all going to be filled up. It's not going to be difficult to fill that up. So that's probably the only slight downside I've had with this aircraft. At the moment, I'm ignoring the shadow flickering. It looks absolutely beautiful. 4 seats in comfort in the back, plus a bit of luggage space. We do have luggage compartments, I think, in the rear. I don't know if we've got them in the nose, I'm not sure. But we do have access to them. Not at the moment, because obviously we're at 4,000 feet. Great sounds, great effects. It is a very, very good aircraft. Now, along with that, we must talk about the issues that were potentially going to be coming out with Sim Update 3, because as of this video being made, this is my first video with Sim Update 3. It's finally out, it's here, it's all ready for you. I was a little bit late getting to it due to the fact of work, but I have it, I've downloaded it, and it was smooth, absolutely smooth. Installed brilliantly. Have I noticed any smoothness in the sim? I think I have. I think I was able to tweak some settings. We have a few more graphical settings now, and I think just looking at that now, the sim looks really, really good. It's in a good state. We always worried about whether 2024 would be a permanently broken sim, and yet we're sitting here now, and in my personal perspective, I think 2024 is in the best position it's ever been. Is there still issues? Yeah, there is, of course there is, but it's steadily heading in the direction that we expect it to be on release date. So I think it's fantastic. I think Asobo, I will take my hat off, if we didn't have Trackir connected to it, to Asobo and Microsoft for releasing Sim Update 3 and doing your homework and taking your time with various patches for pre-release of Sim Update 3. And now we've got version 1 of Sim Update 3. It is absolutely fantastic, and it looks absolutely awesome. And when you're in an aircraft like this, what's not to like? So we are currently just shy of 80 miles now from a Welshpool. I will now shut up once again, and I shall come back. Well, a few seconds for you, but it'll be a bit longer for me, as we approach the Welshpool area. Hello and welcome back to the video. Right, we're about halfway through our flight down to Welshpool, and I thought I'd take the time to have a little chat about Welshpool itself and the great company of which that has produced it, which is Burning Blue Designs. Now, I have featured a lot of Burning Blue Designs sceneries on my videos, directly as review videos or featured through the fact of taking off and landing at them. Burning Blue Designs, if you haven't heard of them, create some of the simply the best general aviation to regional airports, mostly VFR, mostly general aviation. That's why I like them so much, because you know they really do work well with my style of flying. And their latest piece of scenery is Welshpool. Now, I've got my little map up here. I've got a little booklet here of all the airports in the UK, and Yeah, Welshpool's not a very big airfield, to say that. I mean, the runway's nice and long. We've got a 10,020 metre long runway. We only have 2 runways, 22 and 04. We will be landing on 22. Like I said, I did this flight yesterday, and it was quite a good flight. The approach is very good. You fly through a valley and into Welshpool. We do have to watch out for some rather brilliantly placed power lines and all that kind of stuff on the final approach. And like I say, when we start the approach and we get down to circa 2,000 feet, 1,500 feet, you will see the terrain does get a little bit more bumpy than it does in Lincolnshire, let's say. So it is a very well done piece of scenery, and to make no doubt about it, it suits this aircraft nicely, although it would suit some nice Cessnas, some nice little Piper aircraft, but it will take twin-engine aircraft quite easily. And one of the great things about this aircraft, about the scenery, I should say, is the fact it's got a concrete runway. So I have little excuse for missing it. So, well, like I say, we are 47 miles according to the old GTN 750. We are just getting a little bit of turbulence in the area. Still at just under shy of 4,000 feet, so we are quite good at the moment. But it is a wonderful little place to go to. If you are interested in this scenery, if you pop onto Burning Blue Designs website itself, if I actually bring that up, I'll get the information for you now. Trying to do 2 things at once is never a good idea. So currently Burning Blue Designs' latest scenery, Welshpool Airport, is retailing for £8.95. You can't complain. Honestly, you cannot complain at the prices of these scenery. They fluctuate, but they are not expensive. Yes, we're not talking well, they have got farm, but we're not talking Heathrow or Gatwick levels of airports or sizes. But for regional airports and small little general aviation airfields, they're absolutely great. I fly from Wickenby a lot, which is a Burning Blue Designs piece of scenery. It's available for both Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024, like all their sceneries, and you get both copies for both sims for one price. So it's fantastic. If you only fly 2020, you've got them covered, and if you do fly 2024, they also have you covered as well. So one price gets you both sceneries. If you drop onto their Discord channel, which a lot of people do nowadays, you can actually speak to them and you can talk with them, and if you notice any issues with their scenery, they are very quick to listen and implement patches and fixes to their scenery. Very rarely is it needed because the scenery is that good, but the great thing about it is they talk to their community and they listen. And we also have a little page on there, a little channel for suggestions. So there's always suggestions going on for which other airfield and airport is going to get the next Burning Blue Designs treatment. So yeah, if you're interested, go onto the website, drop onto the Discord channel, and you can have a look at some of the great stuff that's on there. And for £8.95, it's a great scenery, and there is absolutely loads of scenery now from Burning Blue Designs on their website, all available for 2020 and 2024. So I shall come back in the next few minutes when, well, for you guys, with a few seconds, when we're starting our descent into Welshpool. So, welcome back. We are just currently heading towards Shawbury. We will be flying, we're not flying over Shawbury, so we will be selecting our approach. Procedure, approach, activate. I think that might have been the wrong one. Procedure, approach. What I wanted. So we're going to swing ourselves over towards the black and white line. I'm going to pull that back out again before I make everybody seasick. So we're currently 21.5 miles away from our destination. So we are going to start a descent as we swing over to basically, we are flying, I think, over Shawbury at the moment. Now, Shawbury, I think, is home of Army Aviation, so we want to keep it out of the way of the Apaches. There's Shawbury just down there. Hopefully they're not flying today. So let's get ready for our, let's go, just have a look at our checklist. Approach. So autopilot is come off, fuel boost pumps can come on. Check, mixture goes to full rich. Check, fuel selector goes to on. Check. Flaps below 175, gear below 157, gear lights will then go on. Hydraulic pressure check, which is that one down there, and airspeed for 140. So we're fairly good at the moment. We are going to turn our landing lights on, so I always forget them. So we're going to keep it on autopilot until we get onto the heading for our approach and run into Welshpool. Like I say, not going to be too far now. Got to love the GTN 750s. Any aircraft that comes with a GTN 750, fantastic pieces of equipment. Absolutely awesome. You can actually buy a GTN 750 essentially sat nav for the flight simulator. I've got the G1000. I've got half a real SimGear G1000 screen, which doubles up as a full G1000 and secondary monitor and all the rest of it. But you can buy a GTN 750. I was really torn as to which one to buy, the 750 or the G1000. Maybe one day I'll buy a 750. Real SimGear, if you want to loan me one, I would be gracefully to accept that. So it looks like we've got good conditions for our approach. Like I said earlier on in the video, we do have a bit of terrain to worry about, but we've got very light cloud, good visibility above us. So landing lights are set, mixture is set, prop pitch is not required yet at the moment, fuel systems are all set to on and fuel pumps are on both engines, correct. As we're going to start turning in towards our black and white line. Trim ourselves out for a little bit of a descent. Our airspeed, don't want to go too fast. It's very easy to speed in this aircraft. I remember watching a video actually from Scott of A2A, the owner and creator, who actually owned a Aerostar 600, and it was one of his previous very early videos, and it was going through the ownership and flying of the aircraft, and he was basically saying that he believed the way the wings designed on this aircraft, which is not a low wing aircraft, it's actually a mid-wing aircraft. It was designed to take two small jet engines. It's that fast of an aircraft. And when it turned out that the jet engines would be too expensive and too complex to fit to the aircraft, you got the engines that we have now, but still get the wings in a rather unique position of having them in the mid of the fuselage instead of being on the lower end. So as you can see up ahead of us, we do have this rather nice hill. And we've got to fly basically down here, and Welshpool is somewhere in this region here. So we're still descending. Speed's good. Let's check on the... We'll still keep the autopilot on for the time being. Flaps was 20 degrees below 175. Well, we're already below that anyway, so that's all right. We can deploy flaps at our leisure. So we do have to keep aware of the terrain. Like I say, it's not in Lincolnshire, it's extremely flat. This end of the world, not so. But we do have a nice long runway, but we will have to, if we do have to make a bolter, it will be an interesting bolter to say the least. I think we've got plenty of space to climb out and get above the terrain before turning left or right. This is when the pilot usually earns the most money, is when they try to land. We are going to just swing ourselves actually away from the course of the runway, because it does bring us very close to the hill. I'd call it a mountain, but I'm sure the Welsh will call it a hill. But yeah, I don't know what the direct approach is to go straight over and then drop down, but I don't particularly fancy it. So I'm coming on 2000, so we will now switch back over to altitude hold and auto trim. Let the aircraft trim itself out. Brilliant scenery in this end of the world. I've got to say, performance is just absolutely astounding. Now we've got Sim Update 3 up and running. I mean, I had good performance anyway. I think over the last few updates, it was really improved over what it used to be. So now should be good to swing ourselves back over to the heading. Just to skip over the right hand side of the hill. In fact, I am going to come off autopilot altogether. Autopilot system is now disengaged, and dear God, I'm going to fly. Coming down for 10. I do believe it was 157 for gear. So landing lights are set, mixture is set, fuel tanks are set on for both, and fuel pumps are on for both. Garage coming down, orange light is out, green lights are engaged. Lovely quarry. think I can just about see the puppy lights up ahead of us. Flaps coming down for 20. Yeah, positive I've got the runway in sight. So, gear down 3 green, flaps are down 20 degrees, mixture is set, prop pitch is set, fuel systems are all checked and correct, landing lights are on both wings. Or nose, I should say in this case. Speed is good. Attitude is good. The power lines are right ahead of us. It does mean we have to adjust our attitude a little bit and come in a little bit higher. Over the threshold, nose coming back. Watch the hump. Quite a narrow runway. Good length, quite narrow. So as we swing ourselves around, well, try to anyway, I will not subject you to the fast taxi back at the runway. But I will join you in a few minutes as we park up the Aerostar 600 at the new Burning Blue Designs Welshpool Airport. So, welcome to Welshpool. A few good Cessnas sitting outside. Flaps have already been retracted. Put the lever back in neutral. Landing lights are already off, strobe lights are off. So because we don't have far to park on this, well, we should just park in place here. Strobe lights are off. Next to is pull back, fuel tanks, they can come, pumps can come off. We'll park ourselves up here. Give everyone a nice little view. So, everything's correct. Good shutdowns on both engines. Right, mixtures pulled back. Fuel tanks are off. Fuel pumps are off. Blah 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 blah. Avionics can come off. Auto trim is already off. Cabin lights are off. Nav lights off. Beacon lights coming off. Alternators are coming off. Battery is the last thing, and is off. So, welcome to Welshpool's. Well, sorry, Burning Blue Designs even, new scenery at Welshpool. It's going to be a good airport. It's really, actually, it's a lovely little airport. Probably a good gateway to go into Wales. And yeah, good size runway for this style of aircraft. Also for little Pipers and the obligatory Burning Blue Designs Cessna sitting there as well, sitting proud at every piece of Burning Blue Design scenery. So I hope you have found this video interesting, informative, had a good look at the Aerostar 600 in its current state. I don't have a release date for it as of yet. However, A2A say it is progressing exactly the way they want. They are in the process of the stages of fettling it to get it to the stage where we will have version 1. Now, it is available on A2A's website in its current state. It is a pre-alpha or an early stage of the aircraft. You are acknowledging that when you purchase it, and you will be getting the updates as and when A2A release them. However, if you don't want to do that, you can wait until obviously version 1 is released. It will not be far away. I would suspect it would probably be in early September, mid-September, somewhere in that ballpark, if I was to take a guess. Now watch it turn out to be next year. Now I've said that. So anyway, if you've got any questions or comments about the Aerostar 600, please bang them below. Stay tuned for a proper Crafty Simulations tour of Welshpool in the usual way. That will be coming out very, very shortly. And I will see you guys and girls in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very, very soon.